It'll be 2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Branka didn't go alone, Oghren. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teat? Ha!
You lift a weapon, or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman.
Thunderhumper.
Can you believe it? Oghren's barely even warrior caste anymore, and he just clomps in here like he's entitled. I'm Loilinar Ivo, warrior, which is more than I can say for that useless sod. Oghren's a drunken wretch. He comes up here 2-3 times a week, hounding people to lead some suicidal rescue mission after Branka. Gets quite violent about it. I'd be scared if they hadn't practically gelded him after he killed young Lord Mino. All Mino's son said was how unlikely it was that a bunch of smiths would return safely from the deep roads. Which is true. Ancestors preserve us. That's what the warrior caste is for. But Oghren claimed it was an insult to a paragon. Next thing, they're in a duel to first blood to defend Branka's honor, then Oghren starts screaming and runs him through. It was a huge scandal. Oghren should have been executed, but he'd won honors in the deep roads. Instead, they stripped him of all weapons and forbid him from engaging in fights within city limits. If he breaks the decree, he'll be exiled. She's still his wife, isn't she? Even if she took their entire house into the deep roads and abandoned him. Well, before she was a paragon, she was just a smith, and Oghren was one of the best warriors of his generation. She invented a smokeless fuel that let the smith caste increase their output by nearly 1/3. Deaths from the Black Lung also dropped. The Assembly said she had the favor of the ancestors and declared her a paragon. They moved Branka, Oghren, and all their relatives to the noble caste and founded a new house in her name. Chasing some old treasure, she was quite secretive. Outright rude, really. She said she never asked to found a house, that she didn't care about politics, and that we were too self-absorbed to defeat the Darkspawn. She actually threatened anyone who said they'd come after her. If you see any guardsmen, tell them Oghren was at it again.
Watch for Piotin Aeducan. He's won the squad combat 4 years running. He has 11 decapitations so far. He needs just 3 more for the 1-season record. Front row seats at every grand proving since my father took me on his shoulders. Name's Varick. I got a controlling interest in a mine off the old Roostin Tig. But my backers know not to hand me a pick any day there's blood on the stone, if you know what I mean. Sure, like King Endrin was just a noble. A proving is a sacred art. Any dispute brought to the proving ground is settled by the ancestors' decision, and no one can protest it. They change from round to round. Sometimes it's bare hands, sometimes weapons, sometimes pairs or squads. It's announced when the fight begins. That's about all the warning anyone gets. Me? Are you out of your mind? I'm a miner, not a warrior. I'm telling you, Piotin will take the prize. You can put gold on it.
Fine to see you here, Warden. A number of people have told me they hope to see you in the provings. It's a rare opportunity to fight against someone so exotically trained. In fact, a few were hoping you'd take part in some informal action. Assembly restricted, not illegal. All that ritual lets nobles rationalize it's not a blood sport. They don't like commoners using the arena for petty squabbles. Some of us prefer an honest spectacle. And sometimes someone needs a good beating, and all that talking gets in the way. I trust you'll keep the offer to yourself.
The proving will begin shortly. I'm sure you can find a place in the stands. Or were you here to take part in the fight? Well, with politics what they are, Many combatants are dedicating their fights to either Prince Bhelen or Lord Harrowmont, mostly Bhelen. It's a regular parade of past winners out there. Piotin Aeducan always leads a battle unit. He's the prince's cousin. Myaja and Lucjan are twins from the warrior caste. They fight together, put on a good show. They'll all be in their chambers if you want to talk. Well, that's a surprise. Never thought the Grey Wardens would take an interest in our king. Let me just put you into the schedule here. Now, is there a particular name you wish listed? I'll just call you Grey Warden, since those elven names are such a mouthful. We actually have an opening in the first round. Are you ready to start? Looks like Seweryn's drawn first bout. He was one of the youngest champions ever. Beat his own father at 12 years old. All for the right to earn his battle status 2 years early. Are you ready to start? Come back soon. You'll be fighting the bout as soon as both fighters are ready.
So, you decide to watch the fights then? A surfacer ought to liven things up. Well, it won't matter much given the caliber of folks you're up against. Everyone wants to show King Endrin one last respect. Do I know anything? Let me tell you, Selraka. If Varick doesn't know it, it didn't happen in this ring. You want anyone in particular? That half-wit? Picked up a sword at 12 and beat his own moron of a father. Since then, every woman in the warrior caste swoons for him. They have a nice act going. Myaja runs up front with that big hammer, and everyone's heard it's got lyrium vein through it. Then Lucjan goes all quiet-like and dirks you in the back. They always get a good response from the crowd. People love the whole martyr cut out your own tongue to please the ancient paragon thing. And they can back it up. Mean fighters, the lot of them. No difference one to the next, though. They dress alike, look alike. Gets a little dull eventually. Now there's a showman. Never does the same thing twice. They say he commissions a new weapon after every proving. I've seen him take out staves with daggers, axes with shields, and mace shield plate combos with double axes. People bet on how he wins, not if. Heard anything? I was sodding there when he defended himself against the charge that he'd killed his brother. Won the fight in less than 15 seconds, but refused to say whether he actually committed the murder. Piotin's a monster. He's like a rock slide, a force of nature. Blink and bam, you're dead. And if he's fighting with his team, you'd better watch out. Last time they fought, the entire front row got showered in blood. Well, good luck. I'll be watching for you.
Go away. I don't talk to admirers until after the fight. Everyone knows about my great triumph. Youngest champion ever! No, the Proving Master announces it every time. I fought most of them before, of course. Myaja and Lucjan are tricky. I learned the hard way. Lucjan is the one you have to watch out for. When Myaja gets all flashy with that hammer, you never see Lucjan stab you in the back. And Piotin's the best. I mean, he's an Aeducan. I've never qualified to fight anyone of his rank before. So you're the Grey Warden? It's an honor, really a privilege. You hear so much about the Wardens. They say on the surface they're the only ones who fight Darkspawn, and everyone hails them as heroes, and... are you taking recruits? A Blight? Then that must mean you want recruits. I bet you're here to pick the best fighters. Am I right? If that's true, it must be because of the king. Believe me, dwarves know their duty in regards to Darkspawn. I promise, as soon as Bhelen's on the throne, you'll have as big an army as you need. Ooh, that wasn't smart. You don't want to get on Prince Bhelen's bad side. Actually, if you're fighting for Harrowmont, I'd better go.
You must be the Grey Warden. Lucjan said one of you signed up.
They said the Warden's here to fight for Harrowmont.
I guess we'll have to show what kind of tricks we learn in Orzammar.
We were born together. We fight together. We'll die together.
The ancestors gave us one soul, but two bodies. Everything we do together.
I think the Grey Warden's worried.
Don't worry. When we beat you, at least we won't taint you. We're not giving anything more away.
So don't even try. We know plenty.
But we don't like to share. Watch out for Darvianak, though. They say he killed his brother.
But the ancestors favored him in the ring, so he never saw punishment.
Don't take it personally. Hanashan's a member of the Silent Sisters. She doesn't talk to anyone. They're an order of female warriors, founded by Astith the Grey, a woman of the warrior caste who first fought for women's right to be soldiers. When no one listened to her words, Astith cut out her tongue and dedicated herself to training until she won a grand proving bare-handed. The women who joined her order cut out their tongues in her honor. I am Farinden. I serve as Hanashan's trainer and translator. As a silent sister, Hanashan cut out her tongue like the ancient paragon, Astith the Grey. As you might imagine, she requires my services for more mundane tasks. The Silent Sisters support the sitting king. They are loyal servants to the Aeducans. Your bravado is meaningless. When a Silent Sister fights, she doesn't do it with words. If you would back up your claims, enter the proving. The ancestors will show who they think is worthy.
Never understood why everyone thinks the Grey Wardens are so great. Prince Bhelen will be happy to hear I've flattened you into the dirt. When the sun shines in Orzammar...
You new in the fights? I don't remember seeing you before. It's a pleasure. Sorry it can't be longer. Name's Gwiddon, and I just tendered my resignation. Somehow I don't think the ancestors will favor me today. I've fought for House Harrowmont in the Deep Roads for 20 years, and will again. I don't regret a minute of that service. But it's my family's job to protect this city, not get caught up in political games better left to the noble caste. It's not so much what happened, as what's going to. I heard from a reliable source Lord Harrowmont's already given up the throne. Bhelen called this whole proving to let his lordship save face when he concedes. Oh? And where did you hear this that's more reliable than a member of the Assembly? I suppose there's nothing his lordship would do without consulting Dulin. He's always been his top man. Maybe you're right. I'm just a warrior. I've always tried to stay out of these noble politics. If I find out this whole thing was some flunky of Bhelen's lying to me for his own gain, Maybe I will at that.
Look, I already told the Proving Master I withdrew. Do you have to keep harassing me? Well, that sounded genuine. If you weren't looking for me, do me a favor and pretend I never said anything. I am, so if you're not here to... How do you know who I am? I know it hurt my cousin, and I don't mean anything personal. Just tell Dulin, tell him I sprained my wrist. I'm going to sit this out. Look, it's just, when I was younger, I had a thing with this Aeducan girl, Revelka. Lesser cousin, nowhere near the throne. Her family wanted her marrying up, so they matched her with a BMO. But we didn't exactly stop seeing each other. She's married to a prominent Desher's heir. We should have stopped a long time ago, but... I love her. Do you know what that's like? Now Bhelen found out, and I can't even help my cousin for fear he'll tell her husband. They have letters. Love letters Revelka wrote me. If they were made public, she'd be disgraced. Her husband would cast her aside, and I would be lucky to be allowed to die in a duel. No. One of his fighters, a woman named Myaja, she's the one who threatened to expose me. There's no way to guarantee that. I appreciate the thought, but they really have me over a shaft here. You'd do that? I don't know how to thank you. I know it's my own fault, but I'd have married her if I could. If you can make sure that evidence doesn't get out, I'd be happy to fight in the proving. But you need to find them quickly. Registrations close once the first bout starts.
You are quickly overstepping your welcome.
So don't even try.
Is that an accusation? It's illegal to threaten proving fighters outside the ring.
Not helping them keep their dirty secrets, though. That's another story.
You haven't been here long. You'll learn soon enough. Nothing in Orzammar is private.
As long as someone can find out.
Come on, Lucjan. We have a fight to prepare for.
The proving's almost starting. I should leave if you haven't found anything. Where did you get those? No, I don't want to know. Just... thank you. I can't say what it means to know my Revelka is safe. I will be glad to fight for Harrowmont in the provings. Thank you again, friend.
Good, you're back. I was about to start looking for you. Are you ready to fight? Remember, once the fight begins, the roster is final. No new additions are accepted, and all withdrawals are marked as losses. Fight start at the gong and go to first blood. No eye gouging, no groin pulls. The rules of each bout will be announced when it starts. You should be comfortable with normal weapons and lyrium-enhanced weapons, in single combat, pairs, or battle units. Are you ready to start? That's what I like to hear. I will warn you, though. This is your last chance to make preparations or meet the competition. Once the fights begin, there are no new additions to the roster. All withdrawals are treated as losses and a sign of the ancestors' disfavor. Do you want to start, or would you like some time? The fighters' quarters are behind the ring. Go down to the ring, then. I'll be right there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. First up is Seweryn of the warrior caste. Many of you remember when Seweryn made history as a lad of 12 by defeating his own father in this very ring. Today, he fights as a champion for Prince Bhelen. Opposing him, in Lord Harrowmont's name, is a member of the famed Grey Wardens.
In the name of House Aeducan and our future King Bhelen.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! The winner is the Grey Warden! That was an exciting start, Warden. Seweryn is rarely trounced, and so thoroughly. Are you ready for your next opponent? Next, you're up against Myaja and Lucjan. As twins, they've always been allowed to fight as a single person. They're warrior caste, but their mother was a smith, so watch out for Myaja's hammer. And don't forget Lucjan. Most fighters do, and end up with a knife in their spine. Are you ready to begin? All right then, I'll see you out there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. This round, Harrowmont's champion takes on the notorious duo, the warrior caste twin terrors, now fighting for Prince Bhelen, Myaja and Lucjan.
May the stone honor you.
When you fall.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! The winner is the Grey Warden! Well, that was an exciting bout. 2-on-1, and you took them both easily. Are you ready for your next opponent? Well, this bout should be quick and dirty. You'll be fighting Hanashan, one of the legendary Silent Sisters. She's a ferocious fighter, and dedicated enough to cut out her own tongue. Are you ready to begin? All right then, I'll see you out there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. Harrowmont's champion has held the field so far, but how will he do against one of the legendary Silent Sisters? We'll find out as the Warden faces Lady Hanashan, who proved her worth to Paragon Ashtith the Grey by cutting out her own tongue. And to our Prince Bhelen by fighting in his name. First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! The winner is the Grey Warden! Harrowmont will be pleased, Warden. The Silent Sister support was a great boost for Bhelen. Are you ready for your next opponent? This should be a good match. You'll battle Wojech Ivo, master of all weapons, prisoner of none. He makes it a point never to use the same technique twice. Are you ready to begin? All right then, I'll see you out there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. This round is paired combat. Just as Kiatchet fought as King Bloodlik II defending our empire, so have dwarves always fought alongside a second. Master of all weapons, prisoner of none, Wojech Ivo has never won the same way twice. What will he do today, lords and ladies? And will it win the day for Prince Bhelen? Grey Warden, choose your second, for you face Wojech Ivo and Valans. Last one standing will be declared victor. Fight! The winner is the Grey Warden! Wojech Ivo is one of the best this arena has seen, Warden. Harrowmont picked wisely. Are you ready to fight? The crowd is eager to see another victory. Pick a partner, because this will be paired combat against Darvianak and his second Olaniv. Darvianak's been a feared fighter in this arena since he was accused of murdering his own brother. He fought to prove his innocence. When the ancestors cleared him, he went on to be a 4-time Grand Proving Champion. Are you ready to begin? Watch yourself. This crowd will only wait so long.
So you're the Grey Warden Lord Harrowmont brought in to replace his missing fighters. Oh, believe me, I will.
I guess we're going into the ring next, eh, Warden? Then why are we talking? It's not hard to be tough with the best armor and a whole unit at your back. His men know it, though. If he gets a scratch, it's their lives. They'd take on anyone rather than face him. He's won a lot of battles that way, but not always with the same men in front.
That was an excellent showing. Are you ready to fight? The crowd is eager to see another victory. Go down to the ring then. I'll be right there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. Grey Warden, choose your second, for now you face Lord Darvianak Vollney and Olaniv. Last one standing will be declared victor. Fight!
Ancestors, give me your strength!
The winner is the Grey Warden! I congratulate you, Warden. Once again, you show that no two mere warriors can hope to best you. Are you ready for your next opponent? This is the championship round. A full squad-on-squad combat. Piotin Aeducan leads the same team he's taken to victory in over a dozen Deep Roads expeditions. Are you ready to face the final test? May the ancestors choose wisely. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. Only two warriors remain, fighting for his royal cousin Bhelen, Piotin Aeducan, has led his team to triumph over every unit so far. Challenging him on behalf of Lord Harrowmont, the Grey Warden has risen from nothing to stand at the competition's summit. Each will lead a full unit of 4 soldiers to see once and for all whom the ancestors favor.
You fight well, but your judgment is questionable. The throne will never leave House Aeducan.
Last one standing will be declared victor. Fight! The winner is the Grey Warden! Congratulations! You defeated the man Prince Trian himself once called the Horns of my army. Do you deny this Grey Warden has earned the championship? Then it is my honor to declare this Grey Warden champion of the Proving, who has shown that the ancestors favor Lord Harrowmont. Through this day, we affirm the friendship between our city and your order.
It's not easy ensuring nothing bad happens, that no one decides to just burn everything in your store.
My store! Please, I don't have much. Business isn't good. People are scared. Tell Jarvia I'll get her money.
Jarvia's not happy with your promises, old man. Now let's go inside and see what you've been holding back.
This is all I have right now. I could get more if I sell something.
Well, well, looks like we have a visitor. Friend of yours?
You get out of here. This is private business. Please, don't get involved with this. You don't know what they're like.
Then allow me to make some introductions. These are dangerous times in Orzammar, stranger. Lucky us, the merciful Jarvia is offering protection from the chaos. You're wearing some fancy stuff there. Might make you a target. So if you want the Carta's guarantee of safety, it's yours for the reasonable price of 10 gold sovereigns. Or I can't say what might happen. You really should learn more about the places you visit. The Carta is the foundation of business in Orzammar. It's a commercial venture of like-minded individuals who make money in whatever way suits their talents. I don't see anyone who's going to make me. Are you going to make your donation to the Stranger Safety Fund? Or do I have to show you how dangerous Orzammar is? Whoa, whoa! All right, you win. I'm not gonna die for 10 lousy sovereigns.
Ancestors, bless you for saving my poor store. I don't know how to express my gratitude. I've never met her, of course. They say she never leaves Dusttown. That's the older area of the city where the casteless congregate. She's the one directing this depravity. Since good King Endrin died, they're getting bolder. They used to be a problem only in Dusttown, but now they're in the commons, shaking honest men down for coin. A band of casteless thugs. They're to blame for all the crime in Orzammar these days. They're criminals, and the children of criminals. The ancestors themselves declared them irredeemable. Their births are abominations. They were born from no Kalna, with no acknowledgement by the Shapers. They are destined to be criminals. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm grateful for your help, but I don't think we have any more to talk about.
How may I serve you? Maybe I can help. You must be the one he's waiting for. Table at the back.
Atrasvala, champion. I hear your performance in the Proving was nothing short of amazing. I must thank you for bringing both Baizyl and Gwiddon back into the fight. His lordship was touched to see his old friends stand for him. There can no longer be any doubt where your sympathies lie. If you're ready, Lord Harrowmont will see you now. Join me here when you're ready to leave.
Did you need something else, Warden? With 52 types of ale, 17 types of mead, and a dozen imported wines, we should be able to serve your needs. What do you have?
I have an award-winning honey mead. Surface Family ships it down here every month. Only 1.5 silvers a mug. 1 honey mead coming right up. Vartag Gavorn certainly owes Prince Bhelen. From a minor house to a prince's right-hand man. He'd do anything Bhelen asked him. Well, I have other customers to see too. If you need anything else, just call me over.
What do you want? Hey, I heard about you. Grey Warden, coming from the surface. Great crisis in the world. People are saying how you've thrown yourself on Harrowmont's wagon train. I figured you'd be the one, you know, who could help me find Branka. But I guess you're just like all the rest. Power-hungry deep lords. The only real concern they have is whose ass gets the throne. You don't have to play dumb, Warden. Their lackeys only come to me when they want something. Well, if you want the secrets of a paragon, do the work and find her. There, now that's the abuse I'm used to. I still don't trust you, of course. Your boss, he's like the rest of them. I know he's been poking around, trying to find things out about her, what she was looking for. Won't tell me spit, though. He looking to take it for himself? A little lost technology of the ancients to throw Bhelen right out of the picture? You are looking for it. Of course, that's all anyone cares about. Well, sod off and sod your mother, too. I need a bleeding drink. You keep on your errands. Until your boss really commits to looking, you're getting nothing but smoke out of old Oghren.
Are you ready to see his lordship now? The honor is ours to have found such a staunch and upright ally. His lordship is looking forward to meeting you.
I appreciate what you have done, Warden, and I apologize for putting one of your rank through such trials. I am Lord Pyral Harrowmont, and I thank you for your efforts to help me preserve King Endrin's throne. For us, the Darkspawn are a constant menace, so a blight may not elicit the same urgency you are used to. Ultimately, the Assembly decides what troops to send. If they no longer fear civil war, they'll have no reason to hold back. If you want my support to count, I will have to be king. And right now, there is no sure way to get there. Have you heard of a woman named Jarvia and the criminal carter she runs? The Assembly receives pleas every day from the common folk, begging that something be done about her. So far, no one has managed. Jarvia hides her base in Dusttown, the raw edges of the city where no one lives but casteless and criminals. If you would help me in this, it would show the Assembly that I, and not Bhelen, have the ability to defend and rule this city. Do this, and I promise if I take the throne, I will not stop until the Assembly sends your troops. Look for Jarvia in Dusttown. Do whatever it takes to see that justice is served.
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform. I know a bit. Enough to know the coin'd have to be real good to risk turning her against me. For that, all I can say is she's got a secret base that runs through half the city and only her men get in and out. If you're looking to make trouble, I suggest you find a safer line of work. Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity. Especially for someone with a few connections above ground. Long as you keep your eyes down and your mouth shut, we've got no further business.
Spare a coin? 2 bits for the needy? No questions. I don't know anything. I never seen them.
What are you looking for? We got nothing to buy for the likes of you. Or maybe you wanted to sell. Best way to find it is stand on any street corner in Orzammar and insult Jarvia's mother. You'll wind up there quick enough, and have a real long time to get to know the place. Her base goes everywhere in Orzammar. You cross her or even talk bad, your bones end up in the lava. Could be, if 30 silver came my way, I might know a bit. Fine. Only Jarvia's men know all the entrances to her base. But I tell you, I've watched them. They go up to what look like bare walls, and poof! Gone! Like there's a secret door. There's one just across the way. Watch long enough, and you'll see. Now you owe me 30 silver. Pleasure doing business. Now you want to buy something, or are we done? Of course.
Hey there, stranger. 6 bits for a tumble. 2 silvers if you all want to go at once.
I weren't talking to you. Hear me? We weren't talking.
Have you a coin to spare, my lord? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I. What information? I don't know anything. Unless you want the names of every mining family in Orzammar. That's what I was. Before. I know people are scared of her. I'm sorry I don't know more. I haven't been down here long. I still don't know how to do it, really. How do people live like this? My name is Zerlinda. I wasn't always like this. I was born to a mining caste family. We weren't wealthy, but I never went hungry before. Now it's all gone, and it's my own fault. Ancestors curse me, but there's nothing I can do to set it right. I fell in love. He seemed so exotic, you know, tough and smart, and never had to bow his head to anyone. He was casteless, and I know he was just trying to father a higher caste child so he could petition for status. But our child was a son, casteless like his father. My parents disowned me and stripped my caste from me. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him. In Orzammar, lineage is traced through the child's same-sex parent. Had my baby been a girl, she would have been a minor like me. But as a boy, my son is considered tainted forever by his father's seed. I cannot abandon my baby. The Shapers teach that only children of true lineage exist, not those born casteless. But they never carried a child. He cries like any other infant, and smiles when he's warm and full. I can't kill him because of an accident of birth, an accident I forced on him? You would do that? But why? Then I cannot offer enough gratitude. But I warn you, my father is a stiff-necked man. His name is Ordell, and he's usually at Tapster's in the evening. I do not think he will listen to you. But I will wait anxiously to see if you can do what you promise.
What are you looking at, stranger? I could be. What business is it of yours? I have no daughter. Could be you met a casteless whore claiming she was once mine.
Oh, I'm the monster, not the casteless wretch that filled my daughter with his brat. I've got a family and a reputation to protect. I'm not letting one stupid girl drag us all down.
She knows what she has to do to come home. She's always been welcome, just not the brat. So tell her that, and don't ever tell me what to do with my family.
You're back. I thought you weren't coming. What did he say? I thought about that. They say there's no caste up there. That humans don't care about lineage. I've never met a surfacer, though. I thought it might not be safe. Strange that you would encourage me with one breath and be so bitter with the next. However you complain, you look well-fed and well-clothed. And that is more than I can give my son here. Thank you, stranger, for opening my eyes. Perhaps I'll see you next in the light of the sun.
Well, look at that. It's not often old Nadezda sees a fine-dressed stranger here in Dust Town. Help a poor cripple. What are you looking for? It's pretty much as you see it. The raw stone where the casteless live, because we're not welcome elsewhere. You're born to wear a branded 'Face' in Orzammar, and you'll live your life in Dust Town. Means you don't exist. It tells everyone who sees you not to work with you, not to serve you, and not to care if you're hurt. The Deep Lords burn it into us the day we're born, so no one accidentally oversteps her place. I'd say it was an accident, try to get some sympathy coin, but you look like you'd rather hear the truth. I was running protection for the Carta when some guardsmen caught me. Duster I was with had coin for a bribe, but I took a stand. Guardsmen broke my sodding kneecaps and had me kneel in dung until the infection set in. Never healed proper. I don't know where you're from, but in Orzammar, casteless have no lineage, so it's no crime to hurt you. You're born to wear a branded face in Orzammar, and you'll live your life in Dust Town. Know her. I used to run with her. Jarvia took over the Carta not more than a year ago, and already she's got every duster with both legs bearing swords for her. I'm not in the good anymore, and Jarvia's gotten real careful lately. Real paranoid. She's got Carta members all carrying these fingerbone tokens. She scratches some mark into them, so she'll know they came from her. There's doors to her base all over the city, but only one is ever open at a time. And if you show up without a token, you'd never know it was there. Can't help you there, Selrocka. The Carta members keep them real tight. Now, how about that coin you promised? I'll think of you when I go to bed with a full stomach.
Well, look what we have here. Jarvia said you were looking for trouble. Congratulations. You found it.
Make him praise!
Don't kill me! Sorry ancestors! What do they teach you on the surface? You fight like a bleeding archdemon. Sweet bloody stone, look at them all! Jarvia said you've been asking about. Don't look at me like that. I got a kid. I got no other way to bring in coin. The base is below the city. You can get to it through the wall of the third house on this row. Put this token through the slot, and it'll open. Well, will you let me go now? Really? Oh, thank you. You're a good person. How do they say it? The ancestors have shown their favor. Bless you.
Well, if it isn't my favorite overly tall but generous visitor, how can I be of assistance? Whoa, Duster, it wasn't me. Jarvia's got the scent now. She knows you're looking, and she's put word out to everyone in Dust Town that you're marked. I swear by the ancestors, I don't talk to her unless it means my life. You shouldn't say that so loudly. If anyone's spying on us, I've got hard evidence he's completely insane, never said a truth in his life. I gotta go.
What's the password? Looks like we have a martyr, boys.
So, Harrowmont finally realized we're taking the city, yet he still can't be bothered to send his own men. Well, you picked the wrong side, stranger. It doesn't matter who's king, as long as there's a queen. You'll pay for their deaths 100 times over. Kill them! But leave the mouthy one alive. I have plans for him.
By all the beards of my ancestors! How did you... Where did you come from? You made a hole in my wall! It does? Oh, sod it. If people find out about this, my business will be ruined. They'll think I have something to do with Jarvia. Dead? How? Did you... You did, didn't you? You killed her, and then you
climbed out of there into my shop. Oh, just leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with this. And if anyone comes asking, I'm gonna tell them you did it.
I heard the news. Jarvia and her Carter are dead. I suppose it was unrealistic to expect them to surrender. I have no desire to go back on my word, but when Bhelen heard the news about Jarvia, he raised the stakes. He is forcing a vote in the next 2 days. By law, that prevents the Assembly from hearing any other pleas. To help with your troops, I will require your assistance one last time. Do you know anything of the Paragon Branka? Branka is a paragon, the only one we have been blessed with in 4 generations. 2 years ago, she took her entire house into the deep roads on a mad quest to uncover ancient secrets. No one's heard from her since. Were she to return and endorse someone for the throne, the Assembly would be honor-bound to accept her wishes. Her entire house went with her. It would take a lot to kill so many. If not, bringing proof of her death, or a body to return to the stone, would still show that as an ancestor, it was my hand she guided to her remains. It's hard to say what she would do. She wasn't exactly known for her predictability. She never seemed to like being a paragon. She was devoted to her craft, never cared for politics. But one of the most brilliant minds Orzammar has seen. Branka hated Darkspawn with a passion. She would certainly be a valuable voice to support your treaty. My men traced Branka's disappearance to an ancient crossroads known as Caradin's Cross. It is many miles below where we normally venture, but I can provide a map to lead you there. Just enter the deep roads through the mines. Thank you again, and may the ancestors guide your steps.